Good morning and welcome to Career Day 2021. Thank you to Mr. Matt Tumlin for setting this up. He worked closely with Ms. Amy Scroggs and our students in our community and some graduates. And so this is a great day for us here. We have a lot of folks here and travel around our building. We are still following our COVID protocol, as you can see. Mr. McGinnis is via Livestream, so he does not have to wear his during this time. But I did want to tell you a little bit about Jason McGinnis. Jason is a graduate. I'll read a few things here. 1986 graduate of Jasper County Comprehensive High School. He attended West Georgia, where he was a member of the '86 West Georgia football team as a punter. In '89, Jason left West Georgia and attended Gordon College, where he graduated with his Associates of Science. He went on to Georgia College in Milledgeville for a few years, and he started with a family-owned grocery store called Clover Farms here in Monticello. During college in 1988, Jason's career began outside the family business. He worked with Delta Airlines. He worked with Macon BMW. He attended the top 3 of financial closing schools in the country, Xerox Copper Sales, attended Xerox University 1 and 2. From there, Jason moved to Conyers, Georgia, where he started working in the technology industry, selling computers in the boom of the desktop, laptop era to companies around Atlanta. And he's got a lot of accomplishments. I'm not going to read all those to you. He can tell you a little bit more about his business and his company, but we wanted to get graduates from here. They're outstanding people, businessmen, come back, give back to Monticello. He does have a family business here. If you know his brother, Adam McGinnis, is in Monticello, is a real estate agent. I will tell you a little quick story about them that I heard. If this is true, he did confirm it. He played football here, was an athlete here, and so he and his brother were like a year apart in school. So they said whenever they wanted to get football practice going, they'd line up Jason against his brother Adam, and they'd get into a fight every single day, and that'd get everybody riled up, everybody excited about practice. So he's got a lot of experience, a lot of stories, a great graduate of Jasper County High School, a great Hurricane. So I'm going to turn it over to Jason. Thank you for being here.
Thanks, buddy.
We appreciate you coming out.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you, everyone. Again, my name is Jason McGinnis. Grew up in the big town of Shadydale and ended my high school here in 1986. It was a fun time. Played football, baseball. The thing about today is I really appreciate Amy reaching out and getting back here. One of the main things I wanted to get back to here today is, and I expressed this in the first class, is it doesn't matter where you came from. Don't let that define where you're going from a career perspective. I was not the top of my class. I wasn't the bottom. I wasn't the troublemaker, but what I did love is that, I love to work. I've always loved my family. Everything that went along while you were here in Jasper County, Monticello, Georgia. But I wanted to get out. I was not one of these people that wanted to stay in Jasper County. I wanted to see what was out there. I wanted to see what the world was about. So had no clue of what I wanted to do. All I knew is I knew how I was raised. I wanted to be the absolute best I could be at it. And trial and error, it happened. You're going to fail, people. Let's career day. Let's be very frank on career day. It's not easy. You're going to fail. You're going to get fired. You're not going to like what you do sometimes. Face the facts. It's not an easy world out there. But I will tell you, find something that you truly love and be good at it. But there's a couple things I want you people to take away today, and I expressed this in my first class. Number one, in corporate America, and I'm going to say corporate America, outside of high school, there's a couple of really key factors that you have to understand that don't fly. And these are the big and I'm telling you these big no-nos today. Number one, never mix or never even bring up politics and religion in the corporate world. Okay, these are the big no-nos. Don't do it. It's not going to work. Regardless of what you think happens in Monticello, people outside this, a lot of people think a lot differently. And they do that, and you can't change that. You can only control you. So, for an example, one of my really good friends, and he's a very smart business guy, he's an atheist guy, okay? That's fine. He's a friend of mine. Well, I cut up with him a little bit about it, but that's just his way. I'm not trying to convince him any other way. So, at the end of the day, you got to understand, that's one of the golden rules of no-no in corporate America, politics, and religion. Don't bring it up. Don't try to push your narrative. It's not going to work. regardless. And it will hurt you sometimes. I mean, people get fired over stuff like this all the time. So big no-no in that scenario, so I want you to take that away today. Number two, as I told in my first class, one of the things that from a high school student today, one of the things you can do is go get yourself a bank account. You can go down with your parents, under 18, get you a bank account. If you're over 18, you can go on your own and get the bank account. But I strongly urge that you go get and you learn how to manage your money today. It doesn't matter if you have $10, 10 cents, 100, 10,000, I don't care what it is. Go get you a bank account and learn how to manage your money. Key factor growing up, we had a family-owned business. It was kind of instilled in us of, how we make money, how we put food on our table. So it kind of came really easy to me and my brother and sister because we knew what it was like. We knew how to balance the books. We knew that the store had to make a profit. And then also we knew that we had to have money in the bank if we're going to go do something. So if you have a goal, if you're doing, if you want to go on vacation, you want shoes, you want a car, whatever, go get you a bank account. Learn what it's like to manage your money. Don't let anybody else know how much that's a big thing. And it's your money. It's not anybody else's. It's not anybody else's responsibility. It doesn't matter. And don't tell anybody because all they're going to do is, hey, can I borrow some money? No, don't lend money to anybody. That's terrible. Don't do it. So get you a bank account. Learn what it is to be financially responsible today. Because if you learn it today, as you go through life, and life is going to throw some stupid, ugly punches at you. Trust me, it happens. These jobs are not forever. Somebody's going to come up and you may slip up or say something and you're fired. Oh, crap, I don't have a job. How am I going to feed my family? What am I going to do? You need to make sure you have some sort of a nest egg that you have available. Good friend of mine, very stern, strict business guy. 2 kids, son and a daughter. First off, he made them pay for their own college, which I paid for mine, not a problem, but because I went to work. But anyway, his thought process was this. He made them pay for their college. He helped them get a job. But his piece to them was, you're not going to buy a house until you have 1 year's salary in the bank. And I said, Jim, that is strict. He goes, I know it's strict. He goes, but if they ever lose their job, they got a year to find another one. I said, okay, I can see that. I said, but how long is it going to take them to do that? He goes, well, how long ever it takes. He goes, but they got to learn how to manage money. They got to learn how to save. And when they get that built up, then they know that, hey, I've got that in the bank. That's my safety net. I encourage everybody today, as kids, I don't care how young you are, go get you a bank account and learn how to budget your money today. Again, it's nobody else's business but yours. So I harp on that because it was instilled at us, and I saw kids in college that could not manage anything. Their parents gave them a credit card, had to bail them out. It was terrible. So I just stress you to do that today. Get a job. This is career day. It's not about me, not about my accomplishments. And trust me, I've been here and I've been here, and it's a grind. You got to get it every day. Get a job. Make sure that you got a way to do something. And I don't care what it is. If you're cutting grass, if you're working at a grocery store bagging groceries, whatever it is, if you're cooking for somebody, if you work at, the Vanilla Bean, get a job. Have your own where you can get, money for you. And I can't stress that enough. And this will go on. As you go to college, work for a little bit. Do something where you can have a little bit of income coming in. Because the world is ever changing. There was a couple of kids in my first period class that they get it. They get it. There's some really sharp kids in this school. I've already seen it. And there was a couple of them. I'm not going to mention, take them out. But he gets it. He knows what he wants to do. And it's very good. And and I see that because, very quiet, laid back. But he knows his direction. And he knows there's money there, which is great for these kids. If you understand what direction you want to go in today, it's fantastic. But I can tell you, 99% of you, you're going to change your mind 18 ways to Sunday because you're going to have no idea what you want to do. If you're set in ways and you know it, great. Me, when I left here, I had no clue. I started selling cars in college. I hated the car business. I got to be a finance manager. Liked it then because I got a new car every week. But I was working 70 hours a week. Didn't realize that. I thought, man, I'm making really good money here. No, I wasn't, because I was working 70 hours a week. You do it by an hourly rate. Holy crap, I'm not making hardly anything. So you've got to look at what you want to do. You got to do trial and error. Went to Xerox. I was selling Xerox copiers door to door. And they sent me to Xerox training school. Best schooling I've ever had in my life. It was 2 weeks here, 2 weeks there. Phenomenal training. Get somewhere that will, if they want to invest in you, that's the biggest key that you can ever have, is somebody want to invest their time and money and effort into you. If they want to spend time and say, hey, we feel you're worth it, so we want to take our money and spend it on you to make you better. There's nowhere else better to be. I don't care where you are. I'll give you a prime example. I have a niece who is smart. She is brilliant. She thought she wanted to be a doctor. She had the know-how to be a doctor. She goes to school. She realized, hey, not maybe a doctor, maybe a pharmacist. Okay, well, she gets accepted to pharmacy school. In the meantime, she went to Publix and applied for an internship at Publix. And they were so short-staffed, the lady literally took her over to the kiosk and said, let's fill out this, and we want to call you back. So she had 3 interviews at Publix. First off, they guaranteed her a paid internship at Publix Pharmacy. Second of all, they said, you're going to pharmacy school. Yep, you get accepted to pharmacy school, you have a guaranteed job at our pharmacy throughout pharmacy school. We're talking $19, $20 an hour in pharmacy school. Then, when you graduate from pharmacy school, you get a guaranteed job at Publix Pharmacy. On top of that, they pay off her, every year she's at Publix Pharmacy, after she graduates, they pay off her student loans. It's a win-win. The only other place you can get that is in the military. She didn't have to carry M16. She didn't have to go to Iraq. She's at Publix Pharmacy. What a fantastic opportunity. She had no idea Publix did that until she went applied. She knew she wanted to be a pharmacist. She's smart enough. She's going to make it. But to have an advantage, get an advantage, something that you can tweak from an advantage standpoint at anything, doing that. So with that being said, build your resume. I know this is kind of quirky in high school. It doesn't matter. Start building your resume on your accomplishments. Go to LinkedIn. It's free. Get on LinkedIn. Fill out your profile. LinkedIn is a business Facebook. That's all it is. You get job offers on LinkedIn. I'm connected to like over 1,500 people on LinkedIn, business people. And they will seek you out to do business with you. It's fantastic. Here recently, there was a young lady in Athens. She came to me and she goes, I'm working at this job. She had quit college. She went to North Georgia. She didn't finish. She had a job at a good company. And she was working with Amazon. And I'm like, you're working at Amazon? She goes, yeah. I'm like, holy cow. People kill to get into Amazon today. She goes, well, she had no idea. She had no idea that what she was doing was just over the top, that people, where she was at, that people would kill to have her job. She wasn't making that good of money. She wanted a raise. I could definitely understand that. She's 23 years old. So I guided her on LinkedIn. I said, let me help you on LinkedIn. Let me guide you. So I worked with, she came to our house. We sat down. We went over the LinkedIn. We filled everything out. I helped her out in this scenario, called her friends, like me on LinkedIn. Let's say things back and forth, whatever. About 3 weeks later, she gets a message on LinkedIn for a job opportunity as a salesperson, as an outside salesperson. So I helped her through the whole interview process. I was coaching her back and forth. So she's on board, and she doubled her salary at 23 years old just by going on LinkedIn. That's how powerful our network world is today. It's not what you know, it's who you know. Trust me, I am living, breathing of that. I communicate with people all over the country. I love what I do, but I am the communication guy. I am in sales. I have to communicate with people day in, day out. I communicate with people from London to California to Hawaii. You know, you've got to have that communication piece, and that's what it is. You've got to be able to stand in there and communicate with people on a professional basis of what you know and how you know it. So in my first class, there was a situation I was put in many years ago where we had a huge meeting, and we were out in Houston, Texas, and had a huge meeting with 9 of the top executives at this little company called Hewlett-Packard, and at that time it was Hewlett-Packard Enterprises, and this was a meeting of their top 9 executives, and we came in, and I was the subject matter expert on the service logistics side. That's why I was in there. So I had the gentleman on my right was, he used to work for HP, so he got us the meeting. The gentleman on my left was he was the president of the company that I was representing. So before walking into the meeting, the gentleman on my right said, Jason, he goes, I just want to tell you something. He goes, these guys are brutal. He said, they're bad. They're mean. He said, they're sharks. If they smell blood in the water, you're done. And I kind of looked at him, and it kind of ticked me off a little bit. And because where I stand, I mean, I'm like the subject matter expert there. And I stood there, and I looked at him, and I was like, so what are you talking? I said, why did you say that? He goes, well, I just want you to be prepared. He goes, if these guys get an inch, they'll take a mile. They're brutal. And I'm like, you know what? I said, we're talking about this area of service logistics, which is my area. And I looked at him, I said, I'm just going to tell you right now, I said, as long as we're in this area, I'm the king of my jungle. And he looked at me and he goes, huh? I said, I'm the king of this jungle. This is my area of expertise. As long as we're in this area, I'm good. And he goes, Jason, these guys, I said, I don't care who they are. I don't care if it's the president. If he wants to come talk to me about the service logistics, I said, that's what I do. That's what I'm good at. That's why I'm here with you, because they have a need, and they need somebody to figure this out, and I'm the person that can figure it out. So we go into the meeting, and when I say king of the jungle, as long as they spoke for what we were talking about, then, I'm good. I'm the king. We get outside that piece, I'll raise my hand. Nope, that's not me. So you got to be the king of your jungle. In the meeting, it got bad. I say bad. It got to the point where, they were asking questions, and they're like, we need this, this, and this. I said, okay, great. Well, you got to pay for it. Oh, no, we don't want to pay for it. I'm like, no. I said, we don't work that way. Another point, we don't swim for free. We're not going to work for free just because you're Hewlett-Packard. I don't care who you are. So the meeting went on, and it got to a point where they were asking us to do things, and it was outside of the jungle. And I'm like, look. I was like, time out. Let's stick to this. And they were basically deinstalling 150 data centers around the country, and they didn't know how to do it. It's a huge logistics process. I knew exactly what to do, how to do it, the whole motions to put through, and they needed us. But they couldn't get through their mind, they couldn't think through their head that, hey, these people know what they're doing, but we're going to have to pay them, but we really don't want to pay them. And then, end of the story, we got it and left. It's like, look, when you guys are ready to understand how we do things, then, you call us. So we got it and left. We're not the yes people. Don't be the yes guys. If it doesn't fit in your jungle, don't be the yes people, okay? So, basically, in careers today, you got to understand that there are certain things that you have at your beck and call today that we didn't have growing up. For instance, you have this. Everybody has a smartphone. There are no excuses from you young people today not to know what's going on. Okay? There are no, there's no excuse. You can do everything from your smartphone. I can order 100 pizzas for lunch today. I can order a plane ticket this afternoon and go get on a plane. I can do anything I want. I have a friend of mine hadn't been in the grocery store in months, 6 or 7 months. They don't like to go to the grocery store anymore. Why? They order from their phone. That's where it's at. You've got to understand that you have no more excuse. If you want a career, you want to look up everything. And I told the first class, go to salaries.com. If you want to know where it is, tell them, follow the money. In corporate America today, it's real easy. Follow the money. Where is it at? Well, I'm in telecom. It's in telecom. What is the race today? The race today is to get to the towers. So who is one of my customers? Crown Castle. They own 40,000 cell towers. Dish Networks, Verizon are trying to get to their cell towers to put their stuff up to charge you a fee to use their service, to get coverage. Follow the money. It's not hard. And it's all right there at your fingertips. So I encourage you today that as we go through these sessions today, I want to be very interactive. So my first group, the first group was fantastic, pretty interactive type person. So we're going to talk today. If you want to ask me questions, I'm an open book. We're going to have fun. But Career Day is all about you. It's about what you want to do. And the people here today we have totally different careers. Again, when I left Jasper County, and again, I'm one of those that wanted out. I wanted to go. Luckily today, I work for a fantastic company. They take care of their employees. We're privately held. We're rich. We're rich and we're bullish, okay? My company today, it took me a year to get used to the no word. They don't want every deal. And it was killing me. I'm a sales guy. I would bring a deal in. I'll never forget. I was there about 6 months. And I get a call from a lady in New York. And she goes, we have a deal. We're guaranteed between $30 and $40 million on a construction deal to put fiber to the home, which is fiber to the home is everything today. And I'm like, fantastic. And she said, we have to use somebody that knows what we're doing. And I'm like, well, that's our business. We can do that. I write everything up. I take it to the vice president of the company, and I said, we've got a deal. I said, $30 million in northern New York, northern New Jersey. He goes, nope. I was like, what? He goes, no, I don't want it. He goes, it's not good for us. I said, it's $30 million. He goes, tough. He goes, we don't want it. He goes, it's not right. He goes, unions, weather, everything. Bunch of big net. We didn't even put it on the table. I didn't even put it on the business development funnel. He wouldn't let me. It was a no. I was like, wow. I was like, wow. So about a year later, as I finally get acclimated to this company, I was telling some of my old counterparts we used to work with 20 years ago, I said, if we were this bullish 20 years ago, we would all be retired. Laser focused, bullish in the industry. We know what we want. We know what we don't want. And again, it was very hard for me to understand that. But now I've got acclimated to it. It's real easy. We tell customers no all the time. Oh, we want to come. We want you to do a lot of our service. No, we're good. Either too small, not in our wheelhouse, something like that. I had a company come to me. So I'm on the routing and switching side. We're on a managed services provider, basically. So I had a company come to me, and they're like, oh, my God, you've got technicians all over the country. I said, yeah, absolutely. And so he said, what's your biggest deployment? I said, we got deployments, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 customers around the United States, Papa John's, Barnes & Noble, Panera Bread, Domino's, Subway, those type guys. And we have a project that we got to have you on. I said, okay. Well, they had a project of 7,500 servers and all these data centers around the country. And they didn't tell me what the project. They said, well, look, we got a project about 7,500 locations. I said, cool. I said, good. That's wheelhouse work for us. But they didn't tell me it was outside of the routing and switching world. It was on the server side. We're not good at servers. There's 12 people on this phone call, and they start diving in. So as soon as they mentioned data center, I'm like, okay, we're good. But they mentioned servers. I said, guys, I'm sorry. We don't do servers. They're like, but you got to take this deal. I said, no, we don't. We don't have to take. I said, would it be good money? Exactly, it would be. Not in our wheelhouse. So we're the king of our jungle in what we do and how we do it. And that's what I strive to teach each and every one of you today, regardless of what you want to do. If you want to be, a hairdresser, fireman, policeman, whatever, I don't care what it is. Be the king of your jungle. It's only going to make you better. So today in this first class, number one, get a bank account. Go manage your own money. It's the best way you're going to do it. Go manage your own money and make sure that, and if you need help managing your money, don't give your money away. Just ask questions. Go to the banker. Ask the banker, hey, how do I do this? How do I set up an IRA? How do I set up a retirement fund? You know, you can do that today. Number two, you know, make sure that what you want to do is you. Make sure you love what you do. People love teaching school. People love whatever. I love what I do. I get to get on airplanes every week, and I get to go around the country. Getting on one tomorrow, getting on the one the week after. So do what you love and make sure you make a difference. And I'm glad to be back here today. We got a full day. I really appreciate all the hospitality that you guys are putting in. Good to see some old friends, and thank you so much for having me. Appreciate it. Thank you.